The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Chapter 6. They had to wait for more than a week because it was very windy and Colin had a cold. Dickon came to visit every day. They had to plan the visit to the secret garden. No one must see them. They had long talks about the visit and which paths to take to the garden. One day, the head gardener was called to Colin's room. When the door opened, he was very surprised. Colin was sitting in an armchair and Dickon was next to him, feeding a lamb from a bottle. There was a crow on the back of a chair and a squirrel on Dickon's back. Mary was sitting on a stool. "Are you the gardener?" asked Colin. "I have some very important orders for you." "I am going out this afternoon and I want all the gardeners to stay away from the garden when I am there." "Very good, sir," answered the head gardener. He went out of the room. "This afternoon I will see it. This afternoon I will be in it," said Colin. "What will it look like? I've never seen it before." The nurse made Colin ready. She noticed that he tried to help himself when she was dressing him. He talked and laughed with Mary. The strongest servant in the house carried him downstairs to his wheelchair. Dickon began to push it. Colin looked up at the sky. It seemed very high and the snowy clouds looked like little white birds. Colin looked as if he was listening with his eyes. "This is where I used to walk up and down and think," said Mary. "Is it?" replied Colin. "This is the garden where Ben Weatherstaff works," said Mary. "Is it?" asked Colin. "This is where I met the robin," said Mary. "Is it?" asked Colin. "And this is where he showed me the key," said Mary. "Is it?" asked Colin. Dickon pushed him into the garden. Colin covered his eyes with his hands. When the chairs stopped, he took them away and looked around. Here and there and everywhere were touches of gold and purple and white. The trees were pink and white. Wings fluttered, and there were sweet smells. The sun was warm on his face. Mary and Dickon stared at Colin. He looked strange and different because there was colour in his face. "I will get well, and I will live forever and ever and ever." They put Colin's chair under a plum tree, which was white with flowers and musical with bees. Mary and Dickon worked, and Colin watched. They brought him things to look at. Buds, twigs, a feather, an empty eggshell. Every moment of the afternoon was full of new things, and every hour the sun became more golden. "That's a very old tree over there, isn't it?" asked Colin. Dickon and Mary looked at the tree. "Yes," said Dickon very gently. "It looks as if a branch broke off," said Colin. "A long time ago," said Dickon. Suddenly relieved, Dickon said, "Look, the robin!" Colin saw the robin and laughed. "He's taking tea to his mate," he said. "Perhaps it's 5 o'clock. I'd like some tea too." They were safe. Both Mary and Dickon knew how the tree lost its branch 10 years ago. "We could never tell him how it broke," said Dickon. "If he asks again, we must try to look cheerful." Colin now looked like a different boy. He had colour in his face, and he looked as if he was made of flesh instead of ivory or wax. "I want to come here every day," said Colin. "I will grow." "Yes, and you'll walk too," said Dickon. "Walk?" said Colin. "Will I?" "You've got legs." "Yes, there isn't anything wrong with them, but they are very thin and I'm afraid to stand," said Colin. "When you stop being afraid, you'll stand on them," said Dickon, "and you'll stop being afraid very soon." Suddenly, Colin whispered, "Who is that man?" It was Ben Weatherstaff looking at them over the wall from a ladder. He was very angry. He shouted at Mary. But suddenly he stopped. Dickon pushed Colin closer to the wall. "Do you know who I am?" asked Colin. "Yes, you have your mother's eyes. How did you get here? You're a cripple." Colin turned red and sat up. "I'm not a cripple," he shouted. He was angry and insulted. "Come here," he shouted to Dickon. Dickon was by his side in a second. Colin held his arm and then slowly stood up, as straight as an arrow. He looked very tall. "Look at me!" he shouted. "He's as straight as I am. He's as straight as any boy in Yorkshire," cried Dickon. Suddenly, tears ran down Ben Weatherstaff's face. "The lies people tell! God bless you," he said. "This is my garden," said Colin. "Mary will bring you here. I want to talk to you. You will have to be part of the secret. Go and meet him, Mary." "You see, you've stopped being afraid," said Dickon. "Are you two doing magic?" Colin asked his friend. "No, you're doing magic," said Dickon to Colin. "The same magic that made these flowers grow." "I'm going to walk to that tree," said Colin suddenly. "I'm going to stand when Ben Weatherstaff gets here. I can rest against a tree if I want. When I want to sit down, I will sit down, but not before." Ben Weatherstaff came into the garden with Mary. "Am I a hunchback?" Colin asked Ben. "No. Why have you been hiding? You made people think you were a cripple and an idiot." "The world is full of liars. Why did you hide yourself away?" "Everyone thought I was going to die," said Colin. "I'm not." "No, you're not," said Ben. "You are very brave. Now sit down and give me your orders." "What do you do here?" asked Colin. "Anything. They keep me because she liked me," said Ben. "Who?" asked Colin. "Your mother," said Ben. "She was very fond of this garden." "Now it's my garden," said Colin. "I will come here every day. No one must know that we come here." "You must come when no one can see you." "I've come here before when no one saw me," smiled Ben. "I've come over the wall. She said to me, 'Ben, if I go away, you must take care of my roses.' And I did." Colin tried to dig and managed to turn some earth. "Would you like to plant something?" asked Ben. "I can get you a rose in a pot." He went to get it. "Here," he said to Colin. Put it in the earth yourself, like a king when he goes to a new palace." When the sun began to go down, Colin was actually standing on his own 2 feet and laughing. Chapter 6 Summary. Colin enters the secret garden and meets Ben Weatherstaff, his mother's favourite gardener. Dickon and Mary avoid telling Colin about the broken branch. Colin becomes stronger, happier and healthier while spending time in the secret garden.